accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos of himself in tactical gear in the woods to her friends and family.
You're mad at your wife, so you get in your full, like, tactical gear. You're holding an AR, and you're, like, setting your picture, like, selfies, like, this is me in my tactical gear. Yo! That is great. Okay. But in fairness, we don't even know if this happened. DogPack doesn't know if it happened either. He's reading someone else's recount, and it literally says allegations, completely unproven. So I had talked about how this video was going to come out in the last video on the Tom Dark channel, the one where I was reading the leaked Mr. Beast's document from DogPack that kind of went over some stuff that he didn't include in the video. You know, when I covered that, he was still awaiting approval to post part 3. Now, from what I understand, this is still not part 3. Okay, this is not part 3. This is like part 2.5, okay? You guys remember how they did like the Lion King 2.5 or whatever? You know? Or like anime. They always do, with anime, I feel like they're always like 2.5, 2.8. Kingdom Hearts is like 2.1, 2.3. Kingdom Hearts 6 million edition, you know? It's always stuff like that. And that's essentially what this is, okay? This is 2.5 titled Mr. Beast's Secret CEO. Are you boycotting India for Barry Stanton? I'm basically boycotting India for what they did to me. Why did this get a lot less views than the other parts? So that's an excellent question that you're asking there. That's a really excellent question. I guess today we're going to find out why it may be getting less views than the other parts. I mean, there could be a reason behind it. Who knows? Who knows? So let's watch it. Mr. Beast's Secret CEO 2 days ago. I haven't seen this yet. I've seen parts of it. I have not seen the whole thing. So we're going to be watching it together for the first time. I'm just finding this out for the first time. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Okay, so this video is going to focus around one instance of essay. I wanted to put all the essay allegations into one video. Part 3, final video until Jimmy responds at least. I sort of overestimated how easy that would be as far as like getting everything approved with victims and lawyers, and like also, you know, traditional media is involved. They've been DMing me, you know, New York Times, Time Magazine, also like documentary people. I don't know. You're like, hey, I've worked with Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and Peak.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want traditional media to be messaging this guy. I really hope he's not talking to them, because those people are weird, dude. Those people are strange. Traditional media is weird as they don't like YouTubers. They don't treat us seriously. They think we're memes. Okay, they think we're jokes. And the time they talk about us most is in a negative way, right? Like you'll never see like a news article from like the Wall Street Journal about how amazing the greatest YouTuber of all time is. Like, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do is be like, Mr. Beast sucks. Okay. And that's fine right now. I don't like Mr. Beast. But they've like these traditional media outlets have had like a very negative slant against YouTubers for a long time. I don't have a lot of faith or trust in them, you know. They're bottom feeders. Yeah, they really are. Not all of them, I will say, you know. In fairness, I feel like most publications, probably most of the articles they post are fine. And just like the ones that I see that I'm aware of are YouTube related, and they're out of touch. So I think there are some good outlets that seem, I don't know, at least interesting. I have a Business Insider subscription. I'm going to be honest, I do. Because I find Business Insider pretty interesting. They have some good articles there. Short little blurb. I read one about the Waltons the other day, the Walmart family, and how much money they have. That was really interesting.
Gawk, are you interested? And I'm like, I don't know, but, you know, I think people should go to those more legitimate sources to get their stories out. So I've been referring people to other people because traditional has, you know, more resources than I do and better legal protections than I do for sure. I do have sort of that bigger project, the original part 3, and I have a lot of other interviews and other allegations that I'm working on putting together. So I have something for when Mr. Beast responds. If his response is bad, then I can sort of point out, hey, he lied here and deflected and straw man argument or whatever, as well as like dropping new allegations and doing it in an opportune way so that they get the most eyeballs. But yeah, I just wanted
getting the most eyeballs on this kind of stuff when you're talking about serious allegations definitely is true. I will say one criticism I made of him in my last video was like, I don't like the idea of withholding ammo for later if you can definitively prove that something happened. And the reason why I don't like that is because if there is currently workplace abuse going on, then you're allowing it to go on by not releasing that. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know what's going on in, you know, inside Mr. Beast. I don't know if this is like these allegations that are going to be in part 3 of workplace harassment, assault, whatever they are. I don't know if they're real even, and if they are real, I don't know if it was happening 3 years ago, 1 day ago, if it's going to happen tomorrow, you know, I don't know. But I just, you know, I got some for that. They were like, he's just playing the game, and I was like, well, yeah, I understand that, but like, I think this goes beyond like a typical YouTube drama sometimes, you know, like if people are being like abused, quote unquote, in the workplace, like I feel like that's information that should be out there so that it stops, you know. That's all I was saying.
I want to say this is just around sort of one allegation. Also, everything in this video is allegedly. This video is not monetized. It's for educational purposes only. This is matters of public interest. I'll put a full disclaimer on the screen. But yeah, here's the video. Okay, today I'm going to be covering Mr. Beast's secret CEO, James Warren.
James Warren.
And his involvement in SA and SA cover-ups, like the one including his best friend, Locoya Hill.
What the wait, what is that? Why are they all naked? Why are they all nude? This is like some Magic Mike, right? This is like a male stripper thing. What is this? What is that? Why is Mr. Beast naked over there? What is this?
Who also happens to be Mr. Beast's secret chief operating officer, or was.
Who is this black man? Who is this?
And then I want to touch on the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson.
Why'd you put him with his... Why that image? Of all the images you could have chosen. This guy looks like he'd be in one of those like conspiracy boards about the people who run the world or whatever. This guy right here, I feel like they'd put him on. Jeff Housenbold? That was right. Shit, we gotta keep playing. I'm out.
Mr. Beast has very publicly and been engaging in a massive cover-up, deleting a lot of evidence. And I think a lot of this cover-up is going sort of completely under the radar. We're not even aware of what's being swept under the rug, and they're getting away with hiding and deleting evidence. After I called out James Warren by name in my last video, his Instagram and Facebook got taken down, and his LinkedIn got taken down. So quick profile.
In fairness, for anyone named in these videos, okay, if you're working at Mr. Beast and he names you, well, no matter what you did or didn't do, you're probably going to remove all your personal social media because the amount of harassment and shit you're going to get is going to be crazy. And that's not DogPack's fault necessarily. I mean, he's just making videos about stuff. But obviously, in a case like this, which is super high profile, very contentious, and it's against like the most popular person on all of YouTube. And also it involves like allegations of like, you know, children being hurt, right? With like the Delaware guy or with Chris Tyson, like people are going to be really passionate and want to seek out those people and do shit, you know? So it's not surprising that those guys, or that James Warren, I guess, got rid of his stuff. But we'll see what he apparently allegedly did.
On James Warren. He's Jimmy's cousin and secret CEO. And I say secret because, you know, they're not very open about that fact. Like he doesn't post about it on social media. It wasn't ever attached to his LinkedIn. He's never featured or really referenced anywhere. I heard that he's very aggressive. I've heard him referred to as a psychopath who screams at people and hits his girlfriends. There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him. And I say allegedly because it turns out there's a lot of people in North Carolina named James Warren who assault their girlfriends, I guess. So I'm still having people look into these cases, specifically that surprise witness on...
Wait. Wait. Okay. Look, no, you can't do that. What the no, you can't do that. What? I understand this is like an allegation video. I understand, like, you can make videos about allegations, but like you're just in this video, which is like, this is your story. We don't know your sources. Your sources are all behind the scenes. I have no idea who the they are. They're unverified to me. In this video, you're like, I've heard he beats his girlfriend. I tried to look up if he had a record and I couldn't find it. What? Do you think you should have actually figured out if he had a charge against him before you publish this video? You can look this up. It's public record. Court cases are public record. You can look up if he has a charge and like if he got convicted or what. If he was arrested, like you can call the cops and figure out if he was even arrested. Like you can do that. You can do that. Why did you DogPack? Come on. What are you doing, bro? I understand this is like an allegation video. It's okay to cover allegations, you know, like that's fine. But like there's no like critical analysis here whatsoever. You're just like, I've heard that he beats his girlfriend. I can't verify it at all, but that's it. And it's like, okay, well, honestly, maybe if this was someone else, I would be more okay with this. The reason I'm being very critical of DogPack here is like, this guy has so many eyes on him, right? This guy has 600K subs he's gotten just recently. This video has 1 million views. His other videos with Mr. Beast each got 10 million views, right? And like, if you even imply that James Warren did anything, people are going to take that and run with it, right? Like the entire audience. Do you think the audience's conclusion was that's just an allegation? Or do you think the audience's conclusion is James Warren beat his girlfriend? Like, what do you think the takeaway here is going to be? Not a big deal. He said they're working on it. Well, yeah, I mean, I understand he's working on it, but it is a big deal, right? Like if I went on YouTube and I said, I have an allegation that this guy beat his girlfriend. Now there's no proof, but you know, I'm just hearing it a lot behind the scenes. I'm going to keep looking into it. And like, it's not in like a casual format. It's not on like a live stream. It's not in like where like it's not like somebody on stream is messaging me like, this guy beats his girlfriend. I'm like, I'll look into it, right? DogPack has been like talking to people behind the scenes about this kind of shit, right? Like he's been like hearing allegations from people. If you're gonna say something like this publicly, I feel like you need to have the proof. Are you defending the Mr. Beast team? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm defending the Mr. Beast team. Hi Thomas, thanks for the dono. Like I'm very technically, is this an allegation? Yeah, obviously. Like, is he definitively saying James Warren beat his girlfriend? No. But like you're here, you're saying you heard from multiple people he did it, and then you look into the court cases and you couldn't even figure it out. Like, why even have it here then? You know what I mean? Just because you got a few DMs from people who say that it happened, like, that seems kind of irresponsible. That seems not good. Why are you defending Mr. Beast? Because I love Mr. Beast. I love him because he's my favorite guy.
She's been super helpful in like behind the scenes, just submitting freedom of information requests and just helping me out a lot in general. She's super nice, super smart. She'll be posting a lot of updates on her channel, as she has been about the Mr. Beast situation.
So you are? I'm literally just asking, that's your response? Why the defensive response? The defensive response, if you read it as defensive, it's because I think you're for even asking that question. If when I see a video like, which, I mean, the part I just watched was bad. I haven't seen the rest yet, but that part was bad. If your response to that is, so you're defending Mr. Beast, I'm sorry, you just are. I'm just asking. Okay, the question you're asking is I'm sorry. Like, that's completely moronic. Yeah, I'm defending Mr. Beast. This isn't even about Mr. Beast. This is about James Warren.
Mr. Beast's video caused a military operation.
James Warren, also allegedly an ex-drug addict. I've heard that he offered cocaine and hookers to editors to stay late. And then the really big thing is that there was some incident between him and a female colleague.
Cocaine and hookers to editors to stay late. What, bro? That's really funny, but once again, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you got to kind of get someone on the record to talk about that before you make this video, right? Like, this video has 1 million views. I don't know. I would not be comfortable making that kind of allegation if I didn't have more definitive proof, I don't think. It just doesn't seem good to me. It doesn't seem very good. DogPack said he has more info, but he can't legally say it. Okay, well, maybe he does, but like, I'm not DogPack. I'm not him. I don't necessarily trust him. I don't know him. He's not my brother. He's not my friend. He's just a guy on the internet that I'm watching. So like, if anybody else said, oh, I have more info, but I can't say it, you wouldn't be like, okay, you're telling the truth. You'd be like, okay, well, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm going to be skeptical about it, right? Like, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
That resulted in the female colleague leaving the company and receiving 3 years in severance pay. I'm still actively looking into this incident, so if you have information, let me know. But
I feel like once again with this kind of thing, like before publishing this video, why not just get the information out, right? Like why not just get the information behind the scenes and then post the video, right? This guy already has so much attention on him. If people wanted to talk to him about Mr. Beast, they would be talking to him right now, right? Like why not just do the research first and then post it, right? Why not like get all the details?
But I've heard from multiple credible sources that this is true and this did happen. Also, I should quickly clarify that a lot of this investigation is allegedly. That's sort of the nature of these instances. I have a lot of testimony, corroborating testimony, but the reason I'm publishing this is that hopefully it brings more information to light. Like after, the Jake Weddle interview got posted, which was all mostly testimony, people came out corroborating a story, and then ultimately Jimmy ended up apologizing and offering him $190,000, which to me, I think is most likely an admission of guilt. You don't apologize for things that you didn't do. So anyway, I just want to get that out of the way. But what's not allegedly is that James Warren was the former COO of acquisitions of a real estate investment firm.
Greenstone Ventures, LLC. Okay, real estate investment firm. Hi, my name is James Warren. I'm the COO, Chief Operating Officer of Acquisitions for a real estate development company based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm looking to connect with funding. Make sure to friend me and like my connected investors profile. Our real estate development focus is on new construction, luxury, infill, residential homes, building multifamily communities with strong cash flow and instant equity, and some mixed-use projects. Primary areas for our projects are in and around the Triangle: North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, and Richmond, Virginia. If you're interested in learning about our projects, feel free to reach out. Okay. Hey, Tom, big fan. Thinking of starting YouTube. Any tips on scripting for documentary like videos like yours? Just do it. Just start doing it and you'll figure it out. That's the only advice I can give. Thank you, Jewish Meat, for becoming a member.
Greenstone Ventures, LLC, which is one of the businesses listed in this indictment of his former business partner, Joshua Hutchins, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for running a real estate Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi schemes are great up until they just go bust.
So before...
Okay, I mean, that's a funny clip. I feel like you're kind of... I don't know. That's a funny clip. I feel like people are going to maybe read into that clip a little too much because it's obviously like kind of a silly clip. But, the idea that Mr. Beast would admit to doing a Ponzi scheme publicly. But also, this isn't even about him. This is about a guy who works for his old business partner who isn't him. We're like, there's Mr. Beast, there's a guy who works for him, and then there's this guy who the guy who works for him used to work with, and that guy got busted with a crime, right? It's like we're degrees of separation away here. I don't know.
Working at Mr. Beast, James Warren was involved in a literal fraud. In fact, he's actually mentioned in the court transcripts of this case. This is the sentence hearing for Joshua Hutchins. I'm going to highlight testimony from just one of these victims, a retirement age woman named Sylvia. She testifies, I came to know Mr. Hutchins through a very reputable and successful real estate attorney who highly recommended Mr. Hutchins and who eventually left his agency to become the chief operating officer of Mr. Hutchins' investment firm. The chief operating officer of Mr. Hutchins' investment firm. She explains that the reason she trusted Mr. Hutchins was through the strong recommendation and endorsement from that very reputable and successful real estate agent. He represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. He presented a successful track record and how Mr. Hutchins had delivered for other investments. On the next page, page 16, she testifies, my trust was and has been severely violated. This is the equivalent of financial. Many of us.
Financial Let's go. I'm trying to do that to you guys, okay? Listen, I'm telling you guys, see this shirt? Okay, see this super swag I'm wearing? See that? See this hat? Once these sell, I'm going to be doing what we call financial, okay? Which means selling them at a very low profit margin so I can try to get them out to as many people as possible because I'm not as greedy and scummy as I will be in the future yet. But seriously, like, this is like, we're degrees of separation away still. It's like, okay, Mr. Beast's guy who worked with him recommended that this woman go get with this other business partner who isn't involved with Mr. Beast. Like, did Mr. Beast know this about James Warren? Did James Warren know this about his other business partner guy who apparently was embezzling funds? Like, if he did know or had some kind of criminal involvement with him, you think he probably would have been charged too, right? I'm kind of just, I don't know. I'm perplexed by this video so far. This is not on the same level as the other ones we watched. This one feels like a dud so far. Thank you, Dramey Drank, for the 5 gifted membership.
Us entrusted Mr. Hutchins, who we've come to know to be fraudulent. Just $1.3+ million of worthless paper signed by him fraudulently misrepresented in the courts. So Hutchins was convicted for soliciting investment monies by telling victims that their money would be put to work on a specific property. In fact, Hutchins did not put all the investor funds to work on the property on which the investor was solicited to invest, and instead regularly used investor funds on other properties or personal expenses. Now, what kind of personal expenses? Well, apparently he bought an AR-15 and hundreds of rounds of ammunition.
Base! Yeah! When you embezzle funds to buy a gun? Yeah, let's go. All right, that's funny.
His wife had a domestic violence order of protection against him. He's accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos.
Wait. Well, we got over what?
Protection against him. He's accused of calling his wife a lying rat and sending menacing photos of himself in tactical gear in the woods to her friends and family.
Wait. You're mad at your wife, so you get in your full, like, tactical gear. You're holding an AR, and you're, like, sending her picture, like, selfies, like, this is me in my tactical gear. Yo! That is great. Okay. But in fairness, we don't even know if this happened. DogPack doesn't know if it happened either. He's reading someone else's recount, and it's literally says allegation. It's completely unproven. We've seen no proof that this Josh Hutchins guy did this. Mr. Hutchins, whatever the fuck his name is. And on top of that, that guy is not really Mr. Beast, right? He's not, like, connected direct. Like, he's James Warren's ex-business partner, and James Warren doesn't work with him anymore because Hutchins is in jail apparently, and Hutchins doesn't work for Mr. Beast. I just don't know. Anytime I lost my mind, Goblin. Sorry to hear that, man. Who does bro think he is? Arthur Morgan? Based.
Again, according to Sylvia's testimony, James Warren represented Mr. Hutchins as highly competent and capable. She continues on page 17. James Warren, the then realtor who recommended me to Hutchins, also encouraged us to work with Mr. Hutchins on trying to make it work. And we did until it became very evident as to his apparent intent of complete fraud. So James appearing to sort of try to mediate this exchange, saying, hey, give him a chance. Don't pursue him. Don't sue him. Just make it work, right? The real losses due to fraud are evident. Financially, he's devastated my retirement. I can only hope and thank the good Lord that I have a brain to be able to function and try to earn back as much as possible. The impact, over $1.3 million in real losses. These are not, I got a piece of property. It was all fraud. She goes on to describe her financial troubles through the years, supporting her mother who had Alzheimer's disease, how in the crash of 2008, she lost her job and for 2 years was unemployed. In 2014, she had a severe cancer diagnosis, was out of work for over a year. She continues, in spite of all that, I've lived very frugally and tried to make things work. I've made him know of all my history, and I told him I could not take the risk. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit about this woman or Josh Hutchins. Like, is this going to say something? I thought this was about Mr. Beast. I don't think I'm missing the point here. We're just kind of going down the rabbit hole like other
Like, this guy seems like a scumbag. Is James Warren a scumbag? Well, you say allegedly that he beat his wife, and then you have no proof, or his ex-girlfriends or whatever have no proof of it, so I don't know about that. Like, so far, this video hasn't really proven anything to me.
James Warren, the then realtor, stated, "Oh, real estate." She goes on to describe how they presented it as a safe investment opportunity for her, and then James Warren's business partner defrauded her of $1.3 million. Now, can I claim definitively that James Warren was aware of the fraud that was taking place and willingly complicit in helping Mr. Hutchins defraud old ladies? No, but from what I've heard of James Warren's character, how he's hit ex-girlfriends, not let them leave the house, beat his dog, defrauded people in his own ways. Creative Juice is an interesting one that could be looked into, which was done with Mr. Beast, as well as another scheme that we'll get into that he conducted with Locoya Hill. I personally believe that when he was working with Mr. Hutchins, he was in similar company. I think the CEO...
He's in similar company? You believe it? Why? Because some random person who claims to be an employee or some random employee said that he beat his girlfriend with no proof? Like, I just don't... Also, you just said he beat his dog. Like, what? Is there evidence for that? I haven't even seen a DM of someone saying that. Like, I don't know. This is, like, super flimsy, man. Like, this is, like, super incredibly flimsy. There's no proof of any of this. How am I supposed to, like, believe any of it? I get he's saying it's an allegation, but, like, you're the Mr. Beast guy. You are making the allegation, right? You are alleging this. I feel like I need to have more. Watch it, see if there's more evidence. Well, we are going to keep watching it, but...
of acquisitions would know and be sort of responsible for properties not being properly acquired through the court system. But again, that's my opinion. That's all allegedly. Now, on to his alleged best friend, Locoya Hill. They both went to UNC Chapel Hill together, and they both, after graduating, got into real estate. But by 2017, Locoya Hill was...
Bro, this image... I don't like this. I don't like... Why does their underwear say pump? What the... Chat? What? I'm starting college tomorrow. Any advice? Do well in class. I don't know.
Running an adult entertainment event business in San Francisco called Locoya Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to Mr. Beast as a producer.
Wait, is that Chris's voice making that sound?
Called Locoya Hill Entertainment. Then in 2019, he was hired to Mr. Beast as a producer.
Is that Chris's voice? How do we not know? How do we not know when he said, ah? How do we not know when he got gifted this? Is that a Ferrari? It's a Lambo, isn't it? Dude, what is that? What kind of noise? I've never heard a noise like that in my life. When you get a car, you should be like, yeah! Not, ah, ah. Shit, there he is. Okay, there's this individual. There's Blackula. Blackula 2.
Our party evolved into this place where, you know, you have the drag queens, the muscle daddies, the bears, the twinks, the, like, posh boy.
No! No! Locoya Hill. Locoya Hill. Bro, who is this? What is this guy? What has he been involved in? How devious is he? And how is this person involved in Mr. Beast?
Now, I'm all for personal freedoms. I believe adults should be able to do whatever they want. However, I question what qualified the sort of go-go dance drag daddy of San Francisco for a job producing YouTube content for children. But, you know, it'd also be weird if Mr. Beast hired Johnny Sins as the janitor, I guess. That's not the real issue, though. The issue is that in late 2021, he was allegedly fired for assaulting his assistant. Now, I put fired in quotation marks because he was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company, which was Unilingo at the time. Here is proof that he used the Locoya at unilingo.tv email, links back to him, links to these photos, one of which was the profile picture for his YouTube channel, which also after my first video, his YouTube channel mysteriously got deleted. And at some point, his Twitter also got deleted. I don't know if that's when he assaulted his assistant.
Wait, but how do we know he assaulted his assistant, right? Like, that claim also, I feel like I need a lot more proof to believe, you know? Like, you wrote this, like, Google Doc blurb about it and how it happened. Like, how do I know that went down at all? I mean, I can definitely see that it seems like he worked at Mr. Beast for some time, but beyond that, how do I know?
I don't know if that's after my first video got posted. Either way, Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled. He was actually...
Booty Call Wednesdays are canceled, true.
Brought back to Mr. Beast in 2023 after assaulting his assistant prior.
Sweep it up, Tommy. There's nothing to sweep up, Madman Chaz. There's nothing to sweep. I'm trying to sweep. My dust bucket is empty. There's nothing here. It's just like, I have an allegation that he did this. And I say, what's the proof? And there isn't any. Maybe there will be in the next part. Maybe it will happen. Maybe genuinely from this video, if all this shit happened, people will come forward and talk about, you know, this happening and have proof for it. But like, there isn't any proof. There isn't any proof.
I am promoted to Chief Financial Officer, which is how I personally was introduced to him. Here's some evidence from the internal Slack channel at MrBeast showing Locoya Hill acting in some capacity, saying there's news reporters outside, do not engage with them. This was shortly after the Time magazine article came out. So here I have a document showing testimony from former MrBeast employees talking about Locoya Hill. When I say verified former MrBeast employee, I had them send some form of proof. I know who some of these people are. They just want to remain anonymous, but I'm willing to share this with like an independent third party if it needs to happen. Personally, I don't think MrBeast is going to deny sort of this Locoya Hill story that I'm going to show you. But here's the first testimony, and I'll say this person is especially credible in my opinion. I asked them, did you see or hear of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes. Locoya Hill, the current COO. In 2021, he had an assistant named victim's name. I heard Locoya acted very inappropriately with victim, booking hotel rooms with only one bed, walking around in his underwear, having victim come to his house and showing him his sex toy collection.
What? What? He was like, hey, baby, come over. I'm going to show you my dildos. Hey, baby, I got this 14-inch dragon dildo from Bad Dragon. Check it out. Hey, mister, want to see my new dildo collection? Hey, I got some fire shit. Back here, bruh. It's like, what? 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 I heard this happen, trust me. I mean, yeah, that is essentially what we're seeing here, right? It's like this person who Dogpack claims is credible says that this happened and I don't have any proof of it or evidence or anything. Like, I mean, maybe it did happen. I wouldn't be shocked that the Go-Go Queen or whatever had a collection of sex toy, Go-Go Drag Doll King, whatever, the Pimp Daddy, Suck Daddy, F Daddy, whatever the he is, okay? I wouldn't be shocked that this guy had like a collection of sex toys and wanted to show it off, but I guess I wish that there was more proof that happened, you know? Thank you, Lumi, the one, for becoming a member. So I'll pay 100 to not do that voice again, Jesus Christ. I'm doing it forever, so good luck.
Just in general, Locoya made victim uncomfortable. Victim started complaining to higher-ups, and a report got written. Locoya was put on paid leave for like a month. Then MrBeast moved him to the dubbing company, and he was hired back in 2023 and was promoted to COO, even though Jimmy, James, and Sue 100% know his history. Also, I heard that when victim was let go, he was given $30,000 in severance. I could get you victim's number. I don't know if he'd talk.
He was showing his sex toys to a guy. So not only is he weird, okay, but worst of all, he's gay. Whoa. MrBeast hired gay people. Now that is dark. That is extremely dark. Let it be known. Let it be known that is dark, okay? That's worse than the Delaware guy. At least with him, it was a girl. Kidding. Or am I? Bad Dragon sponsor when? No. I'm not racist or homophobic. I love gifs of black dudes kissing. Based. Thank you, Lumi, for the donut. What if MrBeast was Mr. Freak instead of making videos he ate ass and sucked toes? I think we would forgive him if he did that. If we saw a video of MrBeast sucking on James Locoya, or not James Locoya, sorry, James Warren Locoya Suck Daddy's Hill's toes, would you guys forgive him? I think I would.
Bond, yeah, that'd be great. Also, is there proof he moved to the dubbing company? I could look. It was the original dubbing company called Unilingo. MrBeast practically forced them to hire Locoya, and then they poached Unilingo's employees and copied their whole business and created Creator Global. Verified employee number 2, asked them the same question, have you heard of any sexual misconduct at the company? They say yes. I don't know how to spell their name, but Locoya, something like that. He was brought in last year after having not worked there for a year or so at a very high level. I respond, Locoya Hill. They say the reason he had been asked to leave previously is that he had sexually harassed someone that still worked at the company when he was brought back. Yes.
Okay, so this is a little bit more, you know, a little bit more corroborating, I think. I mean, if you have two, in a hypothetical world, let's just assume these are MrBeast employees. Dogpack did verify them. They are in the know about this. Two people saying that something happened independently when they seemingly haven't talked to each other, right? Two individual. I mean, that is more corroboration. It's still not, you know, definitive proof to me, but I mean, it is more, you know, like, I mean, even in court, witness testimony can't have a very high bearing, right? You can, you know, make a good case to a jury with a lot of corroborating testimony from various, you know, witnesses. So if that did happen, these people are telling the truth, you know, they're not obviously under oath right now, but you know, if that did happen, that's crazy. That's crazy. This thing seems to have more weight to it just because of the fact that you have two independent people saying it, and then you also have like you have like the proof that, like, you know, circumstantial stuff around it did happen, like he moves to the dubbing company at this time. He comes back at this time, comes CEO, stuff like that, right? Like that stuff is more indicative to me that maybe this did happen. But once again, I feel like I want to know more and know if it did happen for sure,
Locoya Hill, but they brought him back knowing he had harassed an employee previously. And people often talk about Locoya making them very uncomfortable on shoots. I verified employee number 3. I'm looking into more accusations of sexual misconduct.
Someone in chat says, bunch of Mr. Beast glazzers. How much they paying y'all to comment all that goofy ass shit y'all saying? Well, you see, actually, I have a contract with Mr. Beast. He personally messaged me when I made my first video, and he said, look, Tom, I know there's things to be critical of me on, but I love you personally, and I think that you would be really good if we could have a business relationship. So I do have a contract, 1099 with him, with Beast Industries, and he has been regularly sending me $100,000 payments, and of that $100,000, he ordered me to, contractually, I'm obligated to dish out $30,000 of it to chat. So if you defend Mr. Beast in chat, okay, if you even question the validity of these allegations, you are getting money. So just let that be known, okay? For sure, that's happening 1,000%. Move from Austria to Boston for college. I'm scared and nervous. Please help. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck, buddy.
At the company, wondering if there's anything you could corroborate. Have you heard of anything about Locoya Hill? They respond, the old gay guy who likes to bang.
How do we know these are real Mr. Beast employees? We don't.
18-year-old straight employees. Yeah, I've heard of him. Anything non-consensual to your knowledge? I heard he got in trouble for hooking up with his 18-year-old straight assistant, but the company kept it quiet from what I heard. He's a producer and worked in the adult entertainment before Mr. Beast. Yeah, Locoya Hill Entertainment. I heard he was fired for sexual harassment, then brought back a year later. That's what I heard too.
So
before. Do you know who Locoya Hill is? Yes. And you're aware of the case that has been covered up for some time. Explain. Essayed multiple people, apparently roofied multiple people as well.
Roofied? Okay, so now this person is saying that there's a higher thing, okay? Because it's not just harassing, it's roofing people, presumably for the purpose of, but not the financial kind. New allegation. Mr. Beast would be forgiven if he said he's sorry because he's disabled as he sucks on some juicy toast. I think you're right. But what's like the problem with this, once again, is like, you have like a lot of allegations being made with no proof at all, right? Like there's no direct evidence of this. And not only that, but like people behind the scenes are saying different things now. Like some people are saying it was harassment. Some people have more details than others. This guy's saying that it was roofing people, which is like above harassment that would graduate the crime. So, I'm not saying necessarily that none of this happened, but I don't really have proof of any of it. So I just don't, I don't know. I don't know if I can believe this yet.
I verified employee number 5. I'll also say this person is especially credible, but they worked there a while ago, like 2020, 2021, around then. Okay, few things. Locoya sexually assaulted his assistant who was straight and Locoya was gay. You probably already know that. But James is best friends with him, so holy shit, was that surprising that they kept him around way longer than they should have.
5 there people. Okay, 5 is graduating it for sure. When 5 people are saying something, it seems more credible. I will say that, didn't the other person say that he had hooked up with his 18-year-old female assistant? Isn't that what the other guy said?
And you're aware of the case that straight employees? Yeah, I've heard.
The gay guy who likes to bang 18-year-old straight employees, 18-year-old straight assistant. Okay, so they're saying that is an 18-year-old guy. Okay, so the gay allegations are consistent. This is apparently a gay man. I think the gay allegations, I think we can probably say are definitive given that, image we saw.
Around then. Okay, few things. Locoya assaulted his assistant who was straight and Locoya was gay. You probably already know that. But James is best friends with him, so holy shit, was that surprising that they kept him around way longer than they should have. There were reports of him making the assistant sleep in the same room/bed with him on trips, touching him inappropriately, and dangling his job in front of him. Employee number 6, did you hear anything about Locoya Hill? I heard that incident happened. I heard they let him go, and I heard they brought him back and just put him in a different department. And I think he's working there again. Now, recently, Mr. Beast has let Locoya Hill go. They had this sort of leaked
do not distribute
email where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, right? Alluding to the fact that Locoya Hill is no longer working there. Now, I have been open with Mr. Beast about the fact that I was going to cover Locoya Hill. This is a single frame in my first video where I reference Locoya. He's also in my Twitter header. And I've also just told people who work at Mr. Beast that they have to let Locoya Hill go. So they did what I wanted and let him go, right? Well, just on a whim, I decided to look into the Creator Global LinkedIn.
Interesting.
And it had gone private to where everyone just shows up as a LinkedIn member, right? But I saw this, L, LinkedIn member, president at Creator Global. I thought, you know what, that's a little suspicious. So I reached out to one of my connections close to Mr. Beast and I said, hey, can you look into this account for me? Because sometimes if you have connections, you can see private LinkedIn accounts. And this is what they saw. Locoya Hill,
shit. Okay.
listed as the current president at Creator Global. No work history between graduating UNC in May 2001 and becoming the president at Creator Global in 2024. Dude, this is like the 3-cup game where you got to like keep track of the pet and rapists as Mr. Beast just moves them between companies.
They just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
Which I heard, Mr. Beast or James Warren forced Unilingo to hire Locoya as sort of part of their partnership without, sending them the report on his alleged sexual misconduct at the company.
So definitely as we get deeper into this video, the Locoya thing seems more compelling, I will say. I'll say that, To me, it seems unlikely that this allegation about Locoya Hill is untrue. The James Warren part was, like, in my opinion, basically totally unsubstantiated, but this part has a lot more to it. If you have 5 people at the company, assuming DogPack's telling the truth, which I'll assume he is, because I don't think there's a history of him directly lying about stuff like this. So 5 people at the company saying that they heard this happen is really interesting now. What I would like to see is somebody who knows that it happened, somebody who's like higher up in the hierarchy who can have more details. So that kind of person is less like, the higher you go on the corporate ladder, the less likely one of those people is to whistleblow because it's easier to identify them. And, they face greater consequences for getting fired, and maybe they know about it and they were part of this thing and they don't want to talk about it. So the Locoya Hill thing seems much more compelling the more you get into it, right?
I have a voice memo from James Warren showing that they told Unilingo to process
almost video clips. Well, you're not going to get a video clip of it. That's impossible. But what I would like to see is what I would really like to see is like an internal document talking about why he was moved or whatever, right? I would like to see that.
A $28,000 bonus for Locoya, which there's definitely something suspicious going on with that.
Hey, buddy, it's James. Sorry to be bothering you. I've done my absolute best not to bother you. But Locoya had presented a bunch of stuff to me and Jimmy a little bit ago, all really great stuff. But he had asked me and Jimmy personally, he's like, hey, can I have a $28,000 bonus for work I did in the past? And I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And the reason for that is I had brought him up to my level, and I don't take bonuses. So for like 2 years, he didn't get any bonuses when our guys were getting like crazy percentage bonuses. I need a favor. Sue cannot process this bonus through Beast. I need a solid. Can you please process a $28K bonus for Locoya? Let me know. Bye.
Why can they not process it through Beast? Is it because of the allegation? They don't want like a paper trail? Is that with the implication there? That's why they can't process it through Mr. Beast and have to do it through the other company?
And then they used Locoya to try to steal Unilingo's business, poach their employees, take their clients. And then Mr. Beast launched Creator Global, where Locoya Hill is currently listed as the president. So that's Locoya Hill. And that's just what I can put on the record. I will say that if Mr. Beast tries to deny this, more evidence will be brought to light and more people will definitely come out.
More evidence. Interesting. Well, I wish we got that now, but...
defending me, saying, hey, this is true. These allegations are true. This is all true. Allegedly, in my opinion, for legal reasons. Okay, now let's move on to the man himself, Jimmy Donaldson. First testimony from another former Mr. Beast employee, just to show sort of the work culture, especially from a female's perspective. She says, on my very first day, I was told to avoid being alone in a room with certain people in positions of power. At least once a week, I was subjugated to inappropriate questions and conversations. Once, a male coworker asked me what I would do if Jimmy assaulted or harassed me. On another occasion, this same coworker said it wasn't fair that women could just decide a past sexual encounter wasn't consensual. Many of the men I worked...
Based? Whoa. Holy based. They're watching Tom Dark videos. They know about the Katie Bug situation. They know about the Freshly 18 allegations. Whoa. Wow. That is kind of a weird... If that happened, that's a really weird question to ask, I will say, off the bat. Like, hey, welcome to Mr. Beast. What would you do if he tried to you? Like, what? I mean, once again, this claim has no proof or anything, but that is really interesting. If true. Interesting if true. That's what I have to say about a lot of this. Interesting if true. I love chumming. I love chumming. I love chumming. What garbo should I order to eat? Get some Chick-fil-A, Rory. That's some good chum. Some good slop. Yes. More on the biggest clout chasing dog pile the internet's ever seen. Thanks for the 5. I mean, some of it's... There are definitely clout chasers. I honestly don't think that DogPack is a clout chaser at all, to be honest with you. I mean, all the videos are demonetized. He's not making money off of it. You could argue he's getting clout from the videos' existence themselves, because there is some... I mean, to some extent, obviously, he's always going to get that. He's getting subscribers. He's getting views. People are talking about him. But, like, I will say the focus seems very little of the focus seems to be about him and how he feels about any of this. It seems to really just be about the information. So from that perspective, I don't think that DogPack himself is a clout chaser. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing. And in a lot of cases, he is. I think this video with the James Warren stuff was pretty sloppy, but I think his intentions are good, whatever you want to say about him. I don't think he's a malicious actor.
Worked with would
That's
make
what I'll say.
assault and jokes on a daily basis. They would scream and hit walls when they got upset. The minute any woman leaves a room, they would talk about if/how they would fuck her. I've heard men comment on female contestants' bodies many times. Not everyone behaves this way, but no one openly speaks out against it in fear of losing their job. If you complain about any of this, you'll be shamed for being too sensitive or just ignored. You can't take anything to HR either because Jimmy's mom runs it. It's pretty common for...
That is a very bad conflict of interest, in my opinion. Jimmy's mom should not be running the HR department at all. At all. Nobody that's worked there for a long time should be running HR either. It should be done by some HR firm or something that they hire out, I think. Which seems like they are doing that now, but that should have been the case from the beginning. Jimmy's mom, like the CEO's mom, should not be running the human resources. Like that's a huge conflict of interest because if any claim gets brought against him to her, she's in a position to not be impartial. She's in a position to be like, oh, well, you know, whatever. I don't give a f- it's Jimmy. I love Jimmy. He's my son, right? And like it's her son's company. Like obviously she's gonna have a personal investment to protect the company rather than protect the employees and what they do. Tommy, the other day you never answered when the ball stream was. You're getting ignored. Did you see that Noah responded to Mr. Alexify? Yeah, we're gonna watch that today. Actually we already did watch the Noah one on last stream. We are gonna watch. Actually, I don't know if I can even watch it. So Pure Softy Reagan responded to his thing, and I was gonna watch it, but I was told that the video has a bunch of like I wouldn't say CP, but like lewds of her when she was like 16, 17. And I can't watch that on a YouTube live stream, obviously, right? Like I don't want to see lewds of a 16-year-old girl on my live stream. So I don't think I can watch that video by her, you know? Lewds is literal CP. Did she put child porn on YouTube? Is that what it is? Is it like nude pictures? Destiny put a screen up. But yeah, even if that is the case, like is it fair to say I don't want to look at that? I don't want to have that in my YouTube history that I watched that video. Is that fair to say? You cover the situation. It's a picture of them laying together, no nudity, but dude is a pred. Is he a predator? I thought it was like a 2.5-year age gap. How is he a predator? If it's on YouTube, it should be fine. I wouldn't say that. Maybe in the short term right now because YouTube hasn't picked it up, but if content moderation realizes the stuff that's in that video should not be around, it's going to get straight up kicked off YouTube and anyone who's reacted to it is going to get banned. Right? Like that's not the case. Like the EDP arrest footage was on YouTube for a long time and everybody was reacting to it and covering it for years, right? And then YouTube implemented a rule after the EDP thing about how you can't have vigilantes try to pursue justice against online predators without police presence, which they didn't have police presence in the EDP bust. And as a result, I got a strike on my channel for even including footage of that, which is up on Critical's channel with 13 million views, right? You said the gamer word and you're still here. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think YouTube has ever directly banned someone for saying a gamer word. They will ban you for CSA material. Right. And even if they didn't, like, I don't want to hear audio of like a 16-year-old or images of a 16-year-old. Like, I don't want to see that.
For people to essentially get paid to leave and stay quiet if they make enough noise about something. There is no employee handbook, by the way. If you ask for one or what the company's policies are, they just tell you to ask them and they'll let you know if anything is against the rules. But again, there's nothing in writing, which is true. The leaked document is just the production manual, not given to all employees. Here's another testimony. This person will go on the record. This is Jess, who accused Ava Chris Tyson of assault. I think her case has been sort of mostly ignored because she wasn't a minor when it happened, but she was a Mr. Beast employee, and you can see in her evidence in her communications with the company the clear signs of a cover-up. You can see them like threatening her with legal action and emails and saying like, oh, we're going to have a law firm investigate this. Well, they had one firm do an internal investigation.
So this is regarding Muskina.
This person will go on the record. This is Jess, who accused Ava Chris Tyson. I think her case has been sort of mostly ignored because she wasn't a minor when it happened, but she was a Mr. Beast employee, and you can see in her evidence in her communications with the company the clear signs of a cover-up. You can see them like threatening her with legal action and emails and saying like, oh, we're going to have a law firm investigate this. Well, they had one firm do an internal investigation, McGuire Woods LLP, the same law firm that sent me my first cease and desist. But then they hired, I guess, Harvey Weinstein's legal team, allegedly, to re-review everything. So I guess they weren't happy with the results of the first internal investigation. Also, yeah, this new law firm, Quinn Emanuel, Mr. Beast has worked with them previously, allegedly, to internally investigate Locoya Hill's sexual misconduct. So why don't you make that report public, Jimmy? Anyway, here's Jess's testimony. I only hung out with Jimmy a handful of times, but he definitely was a little more reserved around me because I wasn't a part of his inner circle, or the boys club as it's called. I did hear Jimmy straight up say that the guy making a documentary on him right now has footage of him saying stuff that would absolutely get him canceled.
Base, dude. Bro, Mr. Beast saying the N-word confirmed. Ha! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, okay? Bridge moment for Mr. Beast. That's what I want to see. That's what I'd love to see. Okay. Please. Don't release it, or do. Maybe just send it to me privately so I can have it, so I can know he's just like me. Okay?
It's
trolling.
just a well-known thing. The boys club is misogynistic and looks down on women in the company, despite what they might say publicly. Behind closed doors, the women in the company know that the culture is a problem. I have heard multiple stories of Jimmy being directly informed of SA happening at the company and proactively working to keep it quiet. So Jess directly implicating Jimmy in the SA cover-ups. Locoya with an 18-year-old straight assistant, so she's one of the people corroborating that story. Ava told Jimmy about a time she was essayed by another talent member on a private jet, and talent members/employees making advances towards contestants was a regular occurrence. The reason all of this was able to happen for so long is because Jimmy is deeply misogynistic and only respects what he considers to be traditional women.
Whoa. Hello, base. Jimmy's just like me. What the hell? Only respect traditional women? Yeah, that's right, Jimmy. No OnlyFans, no hoes, no 304s. All right, Jimmy. Just like me. I will say, to substantively respond here and not pull a Ludwig, okay? When you have contestants, it is not a good idea to be making advances on them in that environment. No matter how pretty or hot or cute they may be, okay? It's not good to have people who are running the competition and people who are involved, like in contestants of the competition, you know, involved in some kind of sexual relationship of some kind. I don't think that's good. And that doesn't necessarily mean that some kind of abuse took place, but it's generally just not a good idea. It presents a lot of opportunity for misconduct. So yeah, not a good idea, I'll say.
He pushed those values into the company when he created it, and it resulted in several SA allegations we know about, and probably a lot more we don't know yet. Which I will say, a lot of the SA allegations are still not public. Like, man, just fire James Warren and Locoya Hill. Fire them, don't just move them around. Or I'm going to start dropping
HR is never for the humans. They give her the two.
nukes. Anyway, I'm going to move Maddy Spidell away from all this. I just want to touch on this briefly. So Maddy Spidell, who's Mr. Beast's very public ex-girlfriend of 2.5 years, posted this on her Instagram story. She doesn't mention Jimmy by name. It's sort of vague, I think probably either because she's under an NDA or maybe she's just testing the waters to see.
I saw this post, though. She didn't really say anything.
How people respond before sharing more information. But also, it's like not that vague if you have reading comprehension and can read context.
It is vague.
Clues. She says she spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in her life. 19 to 21 are formative years, impacted how she saw herself and how she trusted men. Months of therapy. She says how he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. So how does Jimmy treat other women?
I don't really get along with women. I don't really get along with
Me neither. Yo, W, okay? W.
women. I don't really get along with women. Well, women are stupid because they're inferior to men.
That when she and
Okay, that clip of him is so egregiously out of context and dumb to use here. He's obviously joking there, right? He's obviously joking there. Like, that's obviously like a 2018 irony, haha, woman dumb make sandwich clip, right? Like, putting that in here as if that's like a real clip of him like saying that is like very silly.
a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly. She had been told that it was not a medical emergency.
You'll never actually respect a woman, but just act like you respect them.
Mr. Beast withheld my birth control. I have ovarian cysts. You can't just stop taking birth control.
I don't really get along with women.
Also in this podcast, Jimmy goes on to talk about his relationship with his current girlfriend, Tia, in very weird ways, in my opinion.
For us now, like, an idea of a date is just to like take an IQ test and then study and see if we can get a higher. An idea of a date is just to like take an, and then she was like, I'm an author. And I was like, yeah, good. She has a hobby. And then I just DM'd her. I was like, oh, so your book, can I read it? She sent it over, read the whole book, and it was just like acting like it was the greatest book ever. I don't really get along with women.
Dude, Buddy seems cool. I don't know. Look, you're making me like him a little more, Dogpack, okay? Buddy seems swag and funny, I would say. Look, I'm not hiring women, okay? I'm not hiring women. Well, not that I hire anyone. I'm not contracting women, okay? You know, there's no females editing my videos. Let it be known. The Turkey Tom editing Discord is a sausage fest. There are no women involved, okay? That's an executive decision that I've made, okay? No women. But in fairness, there is an actual reason for that, and it's not, you know, misogyny. The reason that I refuse to hire a woman is because, so when you have a workplace dynamic, okay, you have a workplace dynamic, like my workplace is all men, straight men, by the way, okay, that are not attracted to each other. The reason why that is the case is because I don't want there to be a kind of relationship between people outside of the workplace, right? Friendship is one thing. I don't want there to be like a sexual or romantic relationship between people who are contractors for me and work with me. And the reason why is because there can be a lot of issues that come with that, okay? And I'm not saying like sexual assault or because that's like so unlikely. The more likely thing is just like people who work together, they meet at work, they get along, they start, dating or whatever, or they have some kind of relationship. Maybe they, who knows what, right? And then let's say they break up. Let's say they don't like each other. Let's say something outside of the workplace happens, outside of the contract work they do for me happens. That will directly translate into problems when you're working for someone, right? So like, let's say two people work for me, okay? One's a guy, one's a girl. They are working for me independently, and then they come together and have a relationship, then they break up. They're not going to like each other. They're going to have a hard time working with each other probably past that point. Now, there is a chance that they could have like a totally amicable breakup, right? Maybe that is the case, but I don't want to take the risk on that. There's also a high chance that they're not going to have an amicable breakup. They're not going to be able to work together anymore. Maybe one of them is going to tell me the other person is an asshole and they shouldn't work for me because they were a bad boyfriend or a bad girlfriend or something like that, right? I don't want to have this kind of complication, which is why we keep it to only a boys club. There are no women working for me, okay? And this is like an intentional thing that I thought about when I was fielding applications, for contract work for the editing position. I was like, who am I going to contract with? Ultimately, the best person for the job, but coincidentally, also none of the girls that sent in applications at editing work that was that competent. Maybe there's just less women watching me, less women in this YouTube space that I work in, but yeah, we discriminated a bit. Turkey Time cockblocking his employees is funny. I mean, they can date whoever they want outside of my work, but I don't want to deal with that, for my contractors. I'm cooming. Mr. doesn't like women. I'm gay. Listening to you in the gym, it's increasing my gains based. But yeah, it's just like not. Why do you have work policy where you can't date instead of not hiring women? Because that's like impossible to enforce. They're not my employees. They're my contractors. They're people who have 1099s that I pay for contract work. So, and even if they weren't, like if they're employees, you can't really control that. Like you can't control what they do when you're not watching them. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. If they break it, what do I do? Like if they let's say they were my employees, right? And they do start dating. What do? Do I fire both of them? That seems shitty. So I'd rather just not get into that situation in the first place. If the heart wants what the heart wants, okay? People who are attracted to each other will do whatever they can to make it work. You cannot push people apart like that. It's not going to work. You literally fire them. Well, great. Then I'm out of 2 hypothetical employees and I have to find new people to work for me. Like that sucks. I don't want to do that. How do you know they're all straight? We did tests. We did blood tests. That's how. Workplace discrimination admitted nice. Well, it's not workplace discrimination if I never hire them. If I never get them in for contract work. Worst Tom take ever? I'm right. You confessed to violating the Civil Rights Act. I didn't violate the Civil Rights Act because I hire for contract work. It's up to me who I hire, okay? They're not my employees. I can hire whoever I want.
It's all of our jobs to protect our friends, our moms, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, ourselves from people like that. That's a pretty clear statement, if you ask me. Now, I almost feel like there's been a campaign against Maddy Spidell to discredit her before she's even shared any information. A lot of like clout chaser and gold digger allegations. I'll say this is also from that Rolling Stone article. They referenced the breakup. The reporter says, Maddy Spidell, who's appeared in a handful of videos, those in Mr. Beast's inner circle told me that Spidell had been a positive influence, forcing Donaldson to prioritize work-life balance more. Donaldson did not want to comment on the record about the breakup, citing Spidell's privacy, yet Chris Tyson, says singular...
Why not only hire women and no men? Well, I mean, maybe I would, but the problem with that becomes like, what if they somehow become attracted to me and I have to like do something there? And also like I hired men from the start. I guess if I had started with all women, maybe that would have worked, but I started with guys. It is a boys club by definition. Did you pray to the Indian yak gods? I did. Shirt off? I'm not taking my shirt off, bro. It's not happening. No. What are the chances we get a Tom mukbang vid? For $100, I don't think I should do it. I don't think it's worth it. You don't need to worry about that. Let's be honest, dude. People who are fans of my YouTube channel, obviously I need to worry about that, right? Like there already is potentially some kind of parasocial relationship there, Obviously, that's something I need to think about. Mixed with the two, Lauren.
Focus on work was a major contributing factor. I think...
What, become attracted to me? Dude, that's obviously a potential concern. I don't want somebody who could potentially want some kind of relationship with me or want like anything with me to work with me, And that's not necessarily going to happen, But like if there is that kind of risk, I don't want to work with that person. Like if I found out that one of my contractors, if I found out one of my contractors was attracted to me as a guy, I also wouldn't want to work with them anymore either, because it's like, that's clearly a conflict, right? Like, why are they really working for me? Is because they want to better like the channels, better the work they do, make money, or is it because they like want to do some shit, Like I would not want to work with that. That'd be a whole situation, a whole thing to deal with. Your man employees could want you too. Yeah, but I mean, most of them have like, I guess maybe, but most of them have girlfriends and, wives and whatever the So it's very unlikely. Very, very unlikely.
I think that's what he's going to be looking for next. Somebody who can match his obsession with business and money and all that kind of stuff. So not a bad word to be said about Maddy Spidell from Jimmy or the people in his inner circle, which is pretty unusual of an ex-girlfriend. I'll show some of the brain-dead media coverage headed by Cuckstar and his news organization Drama Alert. So here's just one of his many posts about Maddy. Thread of every time Mr. Beast's ex-girlfriend allegedly shaded him, downplaying the clout-chasing claims against her. So let's see this extensive thread. One post of a TikTok where she says she was traumatized at 19. Why do you think that's about Jimmy, Keemstar? Allegedly complaining about Mr. Beast fans. This is her most popular TikTok period with over 6.5 million views and was posted last year. And then Drama Alert goes on to give one more example, and that's the end of the thread. So see her most popular TikTok seems to be alluding to her relationship with Mr. Beast. And then she has hundreds of more TikToks where she never even tried to recreate the success of that first TikTok, right? Like if I'm her social media manager, I'm telling her,
hire Pokemon's editor, he won't goon to you. Yeah, he'll just goon to Pokemon, so that wouldn't be a problem.
Post about Jimmy Moore, and she obviously knows that if she did that, she would get more views, and yet she doesn't do it. Hundreds of TikToks, about 30 of them are about Taylor Swift, maybe 3 are about her ex-boyfriend of 2.5 years, which for a Swiftie, it's extremely, extremely low to post only 3 times about your ex-boyfriend.
Did she post any like proof of stuff that happened though? Is my biggest thing. Like her big statement, that the reason I was so frustrated by it is because it was so vague. It was such a vague statement. Like it was extremely, extremely vague. You know, like there was no direct evidence of anything in there. She didn't even really say anything specifically that happened. She was just like, Jimmy, my ex-boyfriend, who I won't name, who's obviously Mr. Beast, was mean or something. And doesn't treat women right, you know? Like, I want to see more there. Chris Chan uploaded a video where he got a silver play button from YouTube. Dude, the new silver play buttons are not good. They're not. I'll show you guys, actually, okay? Because I just got a new silver play button for this channel, finally. So this is the old silver play button. This is the one I have for Turkey Tom, okay? See this? Old silver play button. It's pretty, you know, it's large and in charge, I would say. This is the new one I got for the Tom Dark channel, okay? Look at how much smaller it is. Look at this. I mean, it's not like I really care about it that much as a, you know, shitty plastic award. They're not really metal. There's like a little bit of glass in there, I guess. But like, it's just not nearly as cool, you know? It's not as good. Look at that. I think they're sick of making so many of the large ones. So they made ones that take like, I'd say probably half of the material, if not less, because there's like so many people with 100K now, they don't want to ship out like as many of these when they can just ship out one of these, and it's like it's literally half the size. But I would guess that's why. Big fans of the content. Please tell Charlie to keep his head high and that diaper filled. He smokes Newports. All right, Charlie, keep your head high, keep that diaper filled, buddy. Okay. Thank you for the 5, Fox King. Christian uploaded. Yeah, we read that one. Here's something to ease the inflation. Thank you very much, Rosetta, and thank you, Caletta, for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Yeah. Anyhow,
friend who's now incredibly famous. So if she was cloud chasing, she's doing a horrible job at it. Now, Drama Alert, on the other hand, has posted more times in the past month about Maddy Spidell than Maddy Spidell has ever posted about Mr. Beast.
Base.
I just want to address that because I think Mr. Beast knows Maddy has nukes against him and he's trying to discredit her. So let's look at this leaked email. This is from Mr. Beast. It says, yesterday, Dawson saved 100 billion. Whoa, guys, whoa. Guys, I don't know how that got there. That was the wrong email. I don't know how that got there. Yeah, so I've actually heard from pretty credible people that this email was not leaked. So, you know, why lie about it? A devious
Thank you, Serb Seb, for becoming a member.
Or deceptive tendencies. Here he is quoted in that Rolling Stone article saying, I'm great at lying. But I want to focus in on this part where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president.
What is the context of that?
I'm great at...
He's talking about a strategy. Is he talking about like Among Us here? I feel like this is slightly out of context. I don't know. This seems slightly out of context.
Lying. But I want to focus in on this part where they say, therefore, along with Jeff Hausenbold, our new president and COO, we will be hiring a new chief human resource officer, chief financial officer, interesting, and general counsel, along with other roles to add capacity and competencies to foster a better internal culture as we continue to grow. So what's interesting about this is that the only person named in an initiative to foster a better internal culture is Jeff Hausenbold. But what's ironic about this is that Jeff Hausenbold has been in the news previously for the internal culture that he helped create as managing partner at the SoftBank Vision Fund. Here's New York Post. Nasty executives shaped macho culture at SoftBank Vision Fund. And here's Bloomberg Business Week. SoftBank Vision Fund employees depict a culture of recklessness. It has also been described as an environment of sycophancy and harassment. So seemingly all the problems that people have with Mr. Beast's internal culture. But this Bloomberg article also goes to call Jeff out by name. Jeff Hausenbold collects cars, including a blue Ferrari, and claims to own a 20,000 bottle wine cellar, although he doesn't drink himself. Acquaintances describe him as smart and arrogant and almost entirely lacking in self-awareness. He's also gotten away with some questionable behavior. In a discussion about whether to invest in the stationary bike startup Peloton in 2017, according to two people who were in the meeting, Hausenbold opined that its exercise equipment appealed in part to men who masturbated to its workout videos.
Dude, I want to jerk off! I want to jerk off!
I love Dante's, bro.
SoftBank denied the claims, but it's an oddly specific thing for two people to make up a story about masturbating to
Dude, look at this guy. Look at this.
Peloton workout videos.
This guy looks evil.
Yeah, maybe I don't see the vision with hiring this guy as the new president. Also, this is just what I can share. Right now, I do have more information that I'm trying to get out, trying to get permission from the victims and everything. Also trying to save some things for when Mr. Beast responds. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching.
All right, well, I feel like the James Warren stuff was totally, I don't know, I mean, there wasn't really anything there for me to even look into. The Locoya Hill guy, that guy seems super. The Mr. Beast women stuff, I mean, there's, I'd say, little level of proof regarding his disrespect or mistreatment of women, but maybe that is the case. We'll have to see. But yeah, that video was, I'd say, kind of a maybe 4 or 5 out of 10 compared to the others completely. Now, Nick Diorio's been getting into some shit with DogPack on Twitter following this. I saw this. Okay. He's getting into some serious shit. So here he said, "Hey, DogPack, remove the video. This is your source. Your own source can't stand by the allegation you made. This completely eviscerates your credibility." Let's see what this is.
They're alleging things. One of the things that these people are alleging, or one of these people has alleged to Dawson, is James Warren, the guy we just talked about, the secret CEO, had committed some type of domestic incident, some type of harm onto a girl that he was dating. I did look into this, and I went into it thinking he had done that. Okay, I went into it thinking he did it, and I'm just gonna have to find the paperwork for it. I searched and searched and searched, and there was one case number I looked into. Again, I could probably make a whole video on this, but suffice it to say that I do not think that the case number that is associated with this picture right here, and I told Dawson this, and that's why he said this in the video, I do not think that this particular case is the same James Warren. For many reasons, like I said, I did a few hours of research just into this case alone. I was in the property records. I was on Facebook looking people up. I was doing all kind of looking at the marriage records in the newspaper. I just don't think this is the same James Warren. It doesn't even appear that this James Warren is even related to this James Warren that we're talking about. And there's it's a common name. James, a very common name. We got 11 Jameses and Jakes just at the Mr. Beast company. So I don't think that that is him. So I am not prepared to make the allegation that he committed some type of domestic incident.
What's up with her eyes? Her eyes probably look crazier to you because she's wearing like dark eyeliner, which based on her light features is probably not natural to her. So dark eyeliner will make women's eyes appear bigger than they really are.
That has been put on the record because I've not been able to find that. As Dawson said, I do have a couple of requests out for different stuff, and we will see. To me, that's not the most important thing. There's other stuff to look into, and that has to do with this big court case where someone went to prison for fraud for 10 years. So let's just hold our horses till we get to that.
Is that James Warren?
How does bro know that? If you ever spent like a minute around a girl with like makeup not on, it'll be obvious to you. Like, it alters their appearance. I don't have a problem with that, Girls are when they do have their makeup and stuff, it looks nice. But it like alters their appearance. The contrast makes their eyes look bigger. That's why they do it. It makes them look like a pretty Disney princess. But what's being said here, okay, essentially, is that this James Warren has no charges against him. That's what she's saying. So Nick says, "DogPack, remove the video. This is your source. Your own source can't stand by the allegation you made. This eviscerates your credibility." DogPack said, "When did I say she was my source? Why would my source be someone who never worked at Beast? The specific case she's referring to I got from another journalist, and I didn't include it in my video. I think she's mistakenly believing I got it from someone at Beast. I have heard DV claims against James from several former employees. Some claim to have witnessed it firsthand. As anything is possible, my sources are wrong. People swear it's true, so I put out the claim with the clear disclaimer that it's not proven. Fraudulent Mr. Beast is sending his minions over to discredit you." This is like, do people think Nick Diorio's hired by Mr. Beast? Is that what they think is going on here? I've never been around a girl based. Interesting. I'm not talking about allegations he hits women or other employees. Or sorry. Well, if you watch your own video, you said you started looking into these allegations, the case against James Warren, and then immediately say specifically the surprise witness, implying she's done the bulk of your research on this specific video with freedom of information requests and such. Her own video tells much the same story. There's no reason to go forward with accusing someone of having domestic violence charges filed against them without fully verifying that information. The entire nature of this stuff is public record. I'm not talking about allegations he hits women or offers employees coke or acts like a psychopath. I imagine people are telling you tons of shit. I'm simply asking why the person you shouted out spent days researching the same case you showed and concluded she didn't think it was the same James Warren prior to you writing the video. Why would you include the state of North Carolina versus James Warren unless you were absolutely sure this was your guy? If you're game, be willing to chat with you in some capacity. Here he says, because I never mentioned the case I sent her in my vid. There are hundreds of the state of North Carolina versus James Warren cases. Here are the 6 criminal court cases under the correct James Warren, censored addresses and SSN. Could be traffic tickets, could be murder. I'm still waiting on the FOIA request that will take weeks, not days. I agree the phrasing and plug was bad, but you're exaggerating to make a mountain out of a molehill. Multiple former employees told me there was domestic violence charges filed by James's ex-girlfriend. They are my sources, not this woman. They could be wrong. Maybe it was a police call. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe they also found the case I sent to TSW mistaken believed it was the same James Warren. Charges also don't mean conviction. I was just saying, here's where I'm at currently. This person will have updates. Whatever those updates are, I'm fine with. I've interacted with James firsthand and I've heard enough testimony to form my own opinion on him. I could always delay for more info, submit more FOA requests, interview ex-girlfriends, whatever. I'd rather just open it up to the public while being transparent. Nothing is proof, so I can work on other things. I'm confident that my video will age well and Locoya and James will be let go from Mr. Beast. So here he's got the charges against this guy, apparently. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges in criminal court. One from 2000, one from 2001, one from 2002, one from 2014, one from 2015, one from 2023. So we don't know what those were for right now, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens here. Maybe DogPack was right. Maybe this guy did beat his girl. Maybe that'll be, corroborated or something. You always doing a commentary channel, right? Yeah, I have been. I think so, pretty much. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Now here, Nick said, I never mentioned the case I sent her in my vid. There are hundreds of the state of North Carolina versus James Warren cases. Here are the 6 criminal court cases under the correct James Warren, censored addresses and SSN. Could be traffic tickets, could be murder. I'm still waiting on the FOIA request that will take weeks, not days. This is the exact opposite of what she says in her response video. If that's the case, this is a misunderstanding. You should probably sort this out with her. Her video says she told you the case you showed was likely not him. I'm willing to have this discussion calmly in voice chat without clawing at you, but we're just typing huge essays past each other at this point. It's a total waste of time. All right. Well, hopefully that call happens. That'd be interesting, but for now, this is where we stand with the James Warren allegations. No direct proof, but, I guess we'll see what happens. I thought that was kind of a silly, I'd say probably somewhat irresponsible video to make with the way he did it, at least in regards to James Warren. But in regards to Locoya Hill, it seems like a lot more definitive. I feel like why not just, if you're already filing like FOIA requests that will definitively prove whether or not he had domestic, violence charges against him, like why not just wait for that? Why not wait a few weeks and then put out the video, right? Why like drip feed? Why not just wait till it's all airtight? You know what I'm saying?